let's talk about this new Easterling War Priest hero, Brorgir. So let's look at this profile for Brorgir the Conjurer. I love that strong name. So this guy has the exact same profile right here in this section as an Easterling War Priest, but you're going to see some big differences in the heroic stats, might, will, and fate. Also the fact that he's Hero of Fortitude, so he can take 12 units. That is a big deal because it can be really limiting to just have these little 6-person warbands. And I'm always nervous with Maelstrom of Battle deployment. And I've got this little shaman warband and I want this support hero to stay alive. And he's going to struggle to do that. And do I just put 6 archers with him and hope it's not a Maelstrom scenario? Or do I sacrifice it? It's always a struggle. And so I really appreciate getting to put enough guys around this guy that he's going to stay around for a while. And holy cow, 2 might, 5 will, 2 fate, and be able to do so much. So let's look at the profile here. He's got a typical heavy armor and battle stave, which is a sweet option. Spear or 2-handed axe. So it's fun to have these little moments where you go in 2-handed and surprise people. A little bit with the +1 to wound if you've got some help. But look at this guy with Sorceress Adept. When he rolls a 6 on his casting, he gets a single will point back. I just love that. And I love chipping away with my magic users, just using single will spells throughout the game. I'm okay if it doesn't go off every turn, but I just love that consistent threat and the pressure that that style puts on people. And the fact that if you do it that way, you're more likely to get at least 1 back and get an extra turn of spell casting that late in the game. That's just going to be super helpful. And let's look at the spells here, right here. Blade Wrath and Fury, these are the exact same for the War Priest, including their casting numbers. But you've got 2 new options. Enchanted Blades, Blade Wrath, you go up to Strength 6, or if you channel it, Strength 10. I'd actually use Heroic Channeling on Blade Wrath because casting on a 2+ on your own guys, so it can't be resisted. And gosh, you've got the might there to bump it up if you really need to with that 2nd point of might. You could channel it, roll the 1, and still pull it off with the might to get someone like Amder or a mounted Dragon Knight up to Strength 10 for a turn. Is just, it's incredible. Enchanted Blades, however, it's the one that Celeborn has that lets you re-roll to wounds. So here's an idea I've got before for this guy. You got a War Priest in there as well to cast Blade Wrath on your mounted Amder or your mounted Dragon Knight. And then you also cast Enchanted Blades on him. So you would be having potentially Strength 6 or even Strength 10 Amder on horse, re-rolling to wound with Enchanted Blades if you got both of those spells up. And that is one Miraculous Turn where you could do incredible damage. Gosh, I love the idea of that. And then Tremor, previously only seen on the Moria Black Shield Shaman. This guy can cause a little earthquake that shoots out for 6 inches in front. Just a fun, really different, something that the Easterling list did not have access to, and that really was not a big part of the game overall too. So I'm a big fan of that. And so I'm curious, what do you think of this this profile, of the spells in particular? Do you like the casting numbers here? And what do you think about him getting Enchanted Blades and Tremor? And then I'm also super curious, how do you want to use this guy? What are some ideas that are coming to mind about Brorgir the Conjurer that are going to let you open up new tactics, do things with the Easterlings that you did not think you would be able to do? This just really opens a whole new avenue of playstyle without changing the core of what the Easterlings are. I am a massive fan of this. So let me know your thoughts and give me some suggestions on how I might use this guy. First off, thank you Games Workshop for creating a shaman type magic character whose profile is not 131 for Might, Will, and Fate. I really appreciate that. And specifically modeling it off of Druzag, who is one of the most effective and maybe the most fun shaman type magic character in the game. I think that was an awesome idea. I mean, I am so sick of only having 3 will to cast spells with. It is incredibly limiting. You get 1 or 2 off a game. Sometimes you don't even get it off. I remember the first time that I ever used a shaman, and way back in Cast Fury, I decided to heroic channel it, so I throw my might, and then 2 will to give myself the good chance. I roll the 1 and the 2, don't even get to cast Fury. And what do I have left? Well, it was a Goblin Shaman, and so I had 1 will remaining, and I cast a Transfix. And on a 5+, I did not get the Transfix. So that was my first time ever using a Shaman, and it was weeks after before I had the guts to try again. That was just a really deflating way to start. 5 will, yes, that's fantastic. The 2 might though is also fantastic. It makes me consider using Heroic Channeling, or this guy could actually do a little bit of combat support with a heroic move here and there, or just making sure the spells are more reliable. Any of that is going to be helpful, and I am definitely a fan of that. This guy is clearly an upgrade of the War Priests. He's in that same line, but he's better in multiple ways, so it gives you way more flexibility. I think it would have been cool to see him on a horse, but at the same time, I like the limitations that he can't be on a horse, and I understand it'd make the model more expensive too, and so yeah, there's just trade-offs both ways. But I am so pleased to see these spells from the War Priest also in Brorgir's profile, but to have the extra options of a few different things added on, I just think that is spot on. So what do you think of this profile? Did Games Workshop get it right? Is there anything that you think is just gonna fail or flop with this profile? Or do you think it was spot on? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to connect with you there. Thanks for watching.